Virtual reality.
Ben from Watch What Crappens. We are so delighted that you are joining us on the East Coast right now because you are on LA Babe.
I know. I'm so excited to be here at the esteemed studio at Page 6.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That means a lot. No, seriously, thank you for taking the time because I feel like there's so much to get into, so much going on in the Bravo zeitgeist at the moment. What's on the tip of your tongue right now? What do you want to talk about?
Oh my goodness. Well, I think the thing that everyone has been talking about, I think you already know what I'm going to say. Like New Jersey finale, Last Supper.
How do we feel about it?
I liked it. I thought it was weird because I feel like I've never seen a season finale that had so much finality to it.
Yeah.
You know, like it seemed like they all walked in knowing that this might be their last time shooting it. Like I don't know if the producers gave them a pep talk, like, you know, you guys are all in trouble and none of you may come back. But there was some element that they walked in knowing like this was it. We're not doing a finale party. We're not like there's not like the place burned down. We're not doing a vacation at another time. Like this is basically it. Our last hurrah at Rails.
So you sensed some finality, but also them sort of maybe trying to fight for their lives for whatever the next season would be. Like who do you think was putting in the most work to possibly keep her spot?
I mean, it's not like they were fighting for their lives because they were just like fighting like usual. Like
Yeah.
they always fight, and it's not like they're all like shrinking violets and they decided, you know what, now I'm gonna like come hard. They've been doing this all season. Melissa, if anyone, was actually more on the like restrained side.
Yeah,
right?
she was a little calm.
She had like a moment where she's like, I'm a whore, I'm a whore.
And she did her
Antonia's
pose.
mom you just called a whore. But,
Were
like,
we a fan of that? It's the way I...
Well, I mean, I thought it was funny. I really enjoy Melissa not giving, and am I allowed to curse?
Yeah, go ahead.
I enjoy Melissa not giving two fucks about Teresa. Like, I felt like for so many years, she was like pulling this whole, I just want like this family to stay together. But now that she can like unmask and be like, I hate Teresa, I think that she's like much more interesting.
I felt like such a relief, even for the viewers. Yeah.
I feel because it's like, remember it's like, okay, she drew her family on their wall. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
we're painting by numbers. I'm like, what? This is not. I'm from Jersey. This is not the Jersey I know.
But at least she was trying. Like she was trying. She was really giving
Yes,
it a go.
She was giving it a go, but now she's able to give it like a housewife go, where she can like let it go.
Yeah, she'd be like, you know, when Teresa comes for me, I don't, like, in the past when Teresa would come first, she'd be like, how could you say that? I'm trying to keep this family together. But now she can just be like, F you, you know?
And
like
I kind of feel that is a sad reality with Marge and Jackie, because that was a cool reveal. I mean, I
was a
was
big
not
twist.
expecting that.
You know, if the people at that table were not so chaotic, it could have been up there with like a Monica Garcia reveal,
Yes.
like a reality Von Teese.
Yeah.
But because everyone was like fighting over each other, like the reveal was still amazing. It was like, oh my goodness. But it wasn't quite as effective as like having a Heather Gay like build up perfect speech that like ends with a big reveal like that, you know?
Yeah, that's so true. What did you think of Jackie's reaction where she very strongly denied it, denied, and then like all of a sudden was like, I had a dark thought.
Oh no, my
Like,
God. I met with her.
That was my favorite.
Teresa, I met with her. I was like,
I was so...
She's like, I absolutely, no, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I did meet with her. I did.
If you could go inside Jackie's head for a second, why do you think she admitted so fast?
She was like, I'm not going to admit this. Deny. Oh, wait, this might be my last episode ever. I should probably say something.
And then when she walked out and then the producers told her that the other girls were coming and she like physically backed away. I felt really sad for Jackie. I like Jackie. Like, I'm a big fan of Jackie.
I like Jackie.
Yeah.
I like Jackie. I don't, like, it's like upsetting to me that she like changed sides because I actually really liked her relationship with Margaret.
I know.
But like I did enjoy her walking away from Rails, and to me it was sort of like a Kaiser Soze moment. Like it was Jackie all along. Like no one expected
I know,
it.
that's true.
Yeah.
I know, but I know what you're saying, where you kind of are like, oh, she did all this, and now if everyone's done with the show, she's like just getting, I can't imagine her just getting lunch with Teresa and Jennifer Aiden.
Well, but the thing, well, maybe not Jennifer Aiden because they always have been a little bit.
Jennifer was so happy when she found out about the jacket. She's
Yeah.
like, what'd she say?
But Teresa doesn't care because, like, Teresa, I don't think ultimately really cares with who met with the ex. She just needed to have some sort of pretext for why she hated Margaret because she had to hate Margaret because it was the only way for her to reconcile the fact that she and Louis hired Bo Dietl to look into all this shit, right?
She really went above and beyond. Like so many, because people have been like shitting on this season of Jersey. I thought it's been like
It's
hysterical
good.
and
Yeah.
good. Like whenever anyone says anything bad, Teresa's like, It's not as much as Margaret, the devil. Like she would go any
Margaret,
single
the devil.
thing. Yeah.
Like, and she's the devil because she like met with Louis, or she spoke to Louis' ex once. Meanwhile, Teresa spoke to
The Melissa guy,
the Melissa guy, the stripper.
Right.
She spoke to Laura.
Yeah.
She spoke to everyone. I mean, Teresa is like at the dirtiest hands of all, and she's committed
That's why
way
she's been
worse.
on for so long.
She walked around Evan Goldschneider's birthday party, telling everyone at his birthday party that he was having an affair at the gym. And then Teresa's like, yeah, Margaret, who DM'd with this lady once or twice, is like the root of all evil.
And then it was kind of weird her explaining why she was cool with Jackie meeting with the ex. She was like, yeah, well, that was during the time when she thought I was behind the Evan drama, so I like understood. Like she still can't even take accountability for that all these years later.
Yeah, but it's
like you
also,
literally spread a rumor on camera. Like,
yeah, like
you
it's
didn't
so-
think that would hurt her?
Yeah, and it's weird to me that Jackie would honestly be like, well, no, I've forgiven her for that. I'm like, that was a big deal, though. That was a big deal. That was adultery.
Exactly. Amen.
Ma'am.
When they were in the church for the podcast, my favorite, like, what church allows a live podcast taping? I don't know.
I don't know. I wonder if it's still a functioning church, you know,
You
because
do a
that.
podcast show in a church?
You know what? I don't think we've done a podcast in church, but I'm Jewish, so
Okay.
it wouldn't really have an effect on me.
Okay,
like
that's
maybe
at least good.
maybe a podcast in like a synagogue, I'd be like, well, this is weird, you know.
And someone just, by the way, you look like
But people also do weird things in churches. Like they have like they open up.
Well, do
No,
say
meaning-
that again.
Well, I mean, like they open up restaurants. They'll have clubs.
oh my god,
true.
Limelight.
Limelight, exactly.
Yeah.
Not a commentary on Christianity. Just a commentary on like
Real estate.
recycling buildings.
And
Yes.
also the beauty of stained glass.
And
True.
most importantly,
That's the thing.
the power.
Wait, so with Jersey, like you kind of said, everything's like so much in flux. Do you think, what are your thoughts on clean slate, like RHONJ, whatever they're doing with Atlanta right now? What do you think is the path forward? The path to 270?
I'm really open. 270 sprinkle cookies. I am open for like whatever they decide. Like whether they bring back a few people, like if Dolores comes back, I will always be happy with Dolores.
Yeah,
like
always.
I love Dolores so deeply. One of my favorite things that happened with the Watch What Crappens Instagram account is that one time we had a message from Dolores and I opened it up and she just goes, cute.
And that meant so much.
No context. It wasn't in a reply to a story. It just said cute.
That's beautiful.
I still don't know what we did that was cute to her, but I just love that she goes, cute.
How did y'all respond? Did you get clarification?
I
What
think it was
so
like, we
cute?
love you, Dolores.
Okay.
But I would, honestly, I would be down for a clean slate, but what I don't want is like a RHONJ type of clean slate where Bravo says, guess what, this new batch of Jersey gals, they're gonna be your best friend. They are fabulous and fierce, and this is what the real New Jersey is about. I'm like, I don't care about that. I wanna see ridiculous people acting like fools with no self-awareness. So if they can do that, like I'll be very happy.
Are you a fan of the RHONJ reboot?
It's not my favorite. I'm optimistic that the next season will be really good because I think that they once they see they've gotten some feedback and they maybe have seen that several fans were about it. I just think again the issue with the RHONJ reboot is it's too much. These girls are fabulous, aren't they? And I'm like, they're fine. I'm not that interested in seeing behind the curtain of how an influencer lives.
That's, yeah.
Well, I think there are some fabulous girls on the cast. I do think there are some stars. Do you think
They
there are
are.
any stars
Jessel.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah,
Okay,
we love
Jessel. But Jessel's great because she is blissfully she lacks self-awareness. She's hilarious in the things that she says. Tribeca's up and coming. That's very funny.
Her visceral reaction to Judith.
Yes.
She's the one with the most
Judith.
moments where you're like, oh God, yeah.
Yeah, no, Jessel's great. And when they had their cast vacation, we saw good potential. But I think I need, it's not campy enough for me or something. I just need people. I need people to be funnier.
Well, because also Jessel's so great because she's so not self-aware of how
Yeah.
she acts in the world, which is a beautiful characteristic. That
Yes,
someone
and I
like
think
Kristen-
that she now is oh, people think this is funny about me, and so I think she's trying to lean into things, but I'm sure she will still mess up.
yes,
You know,
100%.
whereas someone what's her face, Bryn, she's a little there's sometimes I think wow, she could actually be a top tier housewife. But then there are times where I just think she's like too like winky at the camera. You know, I'm like, it's like a lot of wah, wah,
She has
wah
the fence of like
moments.
which way she wants to go. For
Yeah,
it.
it's like we get it. You love to flirt. You
I'm
know?
such a the winks work on me. I'm such a sucker. I'm embarrassing because like I live for it. Like I love it so much.
But like it's always like, oh, this is a nice table. It's hard. And like, okay, got it.
Unfortunately, I love
You're
that.
like, yes.
Evan,
I'm like, that's so funny.
She like does like dating tips all the time and like or flirting tips, and Evan tried
sorry.
one of them, and they only work for because Bryn is gorgeous, like she's
Yeah.
a model, so she's like wink and hit a lamp and like they'll fall in love with you. And if I tried to do that at a bar, I'd get kicked out.
Like
Bryn's
stand
like,
and look at nudes of yourself on your phone next to a hot guy.
They'd be like, "What like before campaign are you in?" I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, but I think that like those moments where she drops that and she's like maybe a little angry at someone and like you can just sort of see she's actually just being herself more. And I'm sure she would argue that is me, but like we know when she's not trying to be like coy, like she becomes instantly so much more compelling.
Yeah.
To
Or
me.
even like when she was getting vulnerable about the family stuff. Like
Oh, that was
I love
was
that,
really
yeah.
powerful,
Yeah,
you know.
totally.
So I think that she's like borderline for me. And Jenna Lyons, I like because she's just not like any other housewife, and she's just like Jenna Lyons. But like overall, like I think the chemistry of the cast maybe needs to come together, or maybe like the mandate they had and how to like present the storytelling on the
That's-
episode was
yeah.
like just not always super compelling to me. You
I know. I feel like now, like you were saying, they know they did a season, and they now have like people in their ear being like, "Well, that was mean what that person said," or like, "Oh, everyone
Yeah.
likes that person." Now I hate Jessel because everyone like. So there's
then
gonna be some
it's
more
gonna
chaos.
be. I mean, you saw. I feel like Dubai has come up.
Yeah.
Like I honestly like Dubai. I was like, ooh. The first season, I was like, this was not great. And then the second season, I was like, oh gosh, here comes season 2. But it has been hilarious.
They had a
I
glow
live
up.
for Talene.
Talene's great. Caroline Stanbury, I feel like is really in her zone this season, where she basically is just like, Sergio, shut up. And I'm like, that's like, I'm happy with that, you know. So like if Dubai can have that, sometimes it happens. Like Dallas season 2 was one of the best seasons of all time.
Yes, I miss Dallas.
You know, so like sometimes a show just needs to. Miami season 2.
Yeah,
Miami season 2. People know about like New Miami, but people don't know about season 2 Miami with Joanna Krupa and like Adriana slapping her. It was just divine.
Wasn't that also the Karen era? Karen was
Dr.
on?
Karen
Yeah.
Sierra. Her era was unfortunately only one season, but like yeah, Dr. Karen Sierra was a great villain.
Do you remember when Lady Gaga was asked who her favorite housewife was on Watch What Happens Live years ago, and she said Dr. Karen was her favorite housewife?
I don't remember that,
Isn't
but
that
that's
nuts? Isn't that absolutely insane?
one of the strange like reality TV quirks with Lady Gaga, like when she showed up on the hills.
Oh yes. And Kelly Cattrall was like this new like unknown
She's like,
newcomer.
there's a woman named Lady Gaga that you have to, and they were like zipping her up, and Lady Gaga's like this, and like Whitney Port's like, it's not going.
Oh God, I love Whitney Port.
I know, but yeah, I think that New York could be, it could be really good, and I think we've seen glimmers of it. But I felt like out of the bat, I think that Bravo was trying to overcorrect from the problematic way that the last group ended. That they tried to be like, no, don't worry, like. Ramona Singer's gone. Now, who cares about the Upper East Side? Let's just see fabulous influencers. It's like,
I know, it's also my favorite. I'm like, Tribeca's just as expensive as Upper East Side. Where they're like,
I
it's a
know.
whole new York. I'm like, what? Oh, yeah.
yeah, I'm like, I kind of want to see rich, out of touch women
It's so funny for
in their bubbles.
Housewives. I want that, but on Vanderpump Rules, I want them to be poor again.
I want them to be poor.
Because that's like, if you're younger, I need you to like not be living like that like lavish life with like 2 homes.
Yeah, and it's also like I don't really care about seeing waiters living in the San Fernando Valley. Like it's just not like I like the Valley. The Valley's absolutely amazing.
Because it's the most like cursed people on earth.
Yes, and so
came
like
together.
that's great, but I don't need to see these people. I don't need to see the Vanderpump Rules people like adulting in their Valley Village homes,
Wait,
etc.
do you also find Jesse from the Valley very attractive?
Actually, I think he's repulsive.
Oh!
Okay.
Hey, he's my birthday twin. Thanks so much.
He came in studio. I was on that screen. I wasn't in studio, but Danny was
Something
very
happened.
much charmed by the IRL
Really?
experience of Jesse. So why do you think he's repulsive?
Oh, I just think that like everything about him is terrible. I think that he's like, I think he's a dick.
Yes.
I think that he is. I don't like the way he talks to women. I don't like the way he talks to really men either, for different reasons. I don't like the dent in his hair. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
He has like a dent.
Yeah.
And I say that as someone with a burgeoning dent from podcasting so much. But his is like really out of control. And I know, I just think that I think he's a jerk, and I think he's like very self-serving. And I don't
You
enjoy
don't
him.
date in New York. I'm like, that's most of the people here. So I'm just kind of like, yeah.
You're like, he's
that's
great.
Who's
What
your
is Sue?
favorite Valley Boy and Valley
Valley
Girl?
Boy. The Valley Boys, you know, it's hard because for a while, Jason was my favorite. I think he's the hottest.
So hot.
Yeah.
And I've had an IRL Jason experience, and let me tell you,
Really?
he is hot.
He is really hot, and I like that he seems smart. He's a lawyer, and he seems to be sane. But I actually really didn't like when he yelled at Zach in the finale. In a way, it was so hostile that I felt like
It felt a little like that.
it felt a little bit too much like, oh, like, you know, a lot of guys, it was like, you don't yell at a woman, right? Don't yell at a woman. But like for a gay guy, obviously, a gay guy is not a woman, but like just the way he unleashed on Zach in a way that it bothered me because it's like you'll malign a gay guy for being a woman, quote unquote, but you also won't extend the chivalry, if that makes sense. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It just
totally.
it just was to me. I felt bad for Zach. I felt like I was seeing him getting bullied in high school all over again.
That's true.
But Zach, by the way, Zach has come. When Zach started, I was like, "Oh God, this guy with that hair." I was like, "This guy's ridiculous," and he had all these faces. He's like, "Girl,
It was.
girl, what are you doing? You literally, like, I love you right now. I love what you're doing here." And I was like, "This guy." But then by the end of the season, I actually really liked
Now,
Zach.
like,
I
the
did a full
faces-
180 on him too.
Yeah, the faces and the hair feel like home now. Like I really grew to
yeah,
love
that
him.
hair. It's like a special
No, and
thing
he,
for us.
like it's like there's a new thing happening with it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a new thing. with
Right?
Zach's
I
hair.
I'm excited to see.
I think the hair re-haired itself. If
Okay.
I'm seeing
I
recent
think
pictures.
he's like taking some feedback, like considering the
Good.
feedback
Yeah.
and keeping some of his iconic hairness,
Yeah.
but adding a new twist
Yeah.
to it.
Okay,
'Cause
I
I don't
like-
live. I know I think it's very humid in the valley. Maybe I think that was not helping him. I think it's leveling now.
It
The
was
color's so
yeah.
rich too, very
It's
brown.
just like, you know, it's just it goes in directions
It's
you don't
full Toy
expect.
Story.
It's like
yeah,
it's like
Toy Story.
Lego. I really liked him. Actually, the gay presence on that show was very hilarious because there was like this whole kind of like army of gay sidekicks, and they would just sit there on the side and make faces like like nonstop.
Require, yeah.
And I really enjoyed that. But I think, you know, I mean, Kristen was honestly the hero of the entire
she's
series.
everything.
Who would have thought?
I don't think she would have thought. Or actually, maybe maybe she's been manifesting this. Maybe she's been like with her like candle circle and prayers and you know, so
Yes. You know,
maybe she did
and rose petals that poisoned Jill.
Oh, I know.
Remember?
She
Jill the dog.
is a good sign
sad.
for someone like a Jessel who, like, it's been like a decade plus of Kristen. She's had a lot of moments and opportunities to learn, and she's never been self-aware.
Never.
That there is hope that some people just never get self-awareness, and I hope it never happens because
Well, I
it's
hope
just
that Jessel's TV journey is a little
a
less
little
dark.
less than Doty.
I mean, yeah, Kristen had a rough moment. I liked how the Valley actually addresses it face on,
Yeah.
like head on. Like it's like they like literally make it part of her story. I mean, she's like, you don't understand how hard it was for me. But isn't it weird to also think that like Kristen is older than like I feel like most of the RHONJ cast?
That is
Literally,
a
'cause
little
she's-
wild.
Isn't that wild?
that. It's like her and Kyle Cook, when you say it like that, really shake it out for me.
Yeah, that's like you never would have thought.
Oh my god. What did you think? If you like, what's like the housewife season this year that has been like delivering the most for you?
Well, I mean, Orange County's off to a great start.
So good.
That's
Do you
early.
like this Katie girl?
She's fine. I liked her a lot more in the beginning. I thought this last episode was actually a little bit of a flop for her. I thought it was gonna be her like standing up to Heather, but like the golf thing's getting a little old.
Too much for you.
But I do like her.
Yeah, and I want to know more. Her family seems fun.
Yeah, and
family
it
seems
seems
fun.
and it feels like there's some stuff there.
Did we think when she was like drinking and driving? Oops! Like I was kind of like, you knew what you were doing with that.
I know, but I liked it.
I liked it, but it was
Just
funny.
because Shannon's face was like, oh, well, that's a very fun joke at my expense. Yet again, I'll just be the punching bag for everyone. That's fine. I'll just look at my knee and go,
I feel like Shannon's been like taking all the hits pretty well. Like I feel
I mean,
like
she always does. I mean, she is like an eternal punching bag. I'm trying to think, what were the other housewives that were on New Jersey? Obviously, we liked more than
Yes.
Salt Lake City was, but that was actually earlier this year. That was like unbelievable.
Well, that's what they're saying so much. And I guess like Potomac
Potomac was terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't. It
was
the best,
terrible.
which is so sad because like those women are so great.
They're
There's so
so
many
great,
stars on that cast.
I believe something went wrong, like on the production level in terms of like, I think that like someone needed to get fired on like the production end, like showrunner or something like that, because they did not have a vision for how to like lay that story out. You know.
Yeah, I can see that.
What do you think of the cuts that were made to Potomac? I'm sad that Candace is gone. Honestly, Candace, Wendy without Candace doesn't necessarily make sense to me. So I don't.
I don't know. I never saw like Wendy and Candace as like a duo before. I feel like they were kind of like shoved together, but because they both hate Giselle. But like,
well, true, yeah.
you know, Candace to me seemed a little checked out this season. It seemed like she sort of had like one eye more on the music, as maybe like as she's entitled to. You know, like. So her leaving was not that surprising. I want Wendy to do something more interesting because I really like Wendy and I was a big fan of hers and she's so smart. I just love a smart person on my TV. And I feel like she's been kind of doing these arcs about like, I'm doing a candle or I'm doing this. I don't want the entrepreneurial arc for her anymore. And I feel like when people do that, it's almost like they don't want to show anything else. I'm like, I want something more intriguing and interesting than another silly like here's this year's like thing I'm gonna try to promote. You know?
Right, and it could have been interesting with NECA, but it didn't seem like she wanted to engage in that. So then, I mean, the way it unfolded was.
I did too.
I liked her.
And I love that she teased the fact that she got fired for like a month and a half. She's like, guys, news is dropping soon. And it was that she wasn't as back.
Yeah, I liked her. You know, Beverly Hills was good this season. Beverly Hills is always like, I feel like Beverly Hills is always like good. It's never to me like as red hot as Salt Lake City was this year, Miami was last year, but New York, just go through all of them. Beverly Hills was still like reliable.
It's always
They hate it. They would hate this comparison, but it's like a Honda. You know, it gets you there. Yeah.
That's 100% correct.
Yeah, Kyle Richards, you're in a Honda, babe. Sorry to break it to you.
There's always entertaining stuff, but like it's never quite as like absolutely riveting TV, and yet we all watch it. It's like the
highest
top
rated
one,
always.
right?
Yeah.
What are your hopes for Salt Lake City without Monica, and were you paying attention to this like back and forth between Monica and Lisa and production trying to ask her to come back and all that?
I didn't know about that.
I didn't know about that either.
I didn't know.
Yeah, so Monica was out here. I think it was at like some event or something. I'm not certain where she was exactly, but she was saying that Bravo asked her to come back, but then the other ladies sort of like revolted behind the scenes. They wanted her to come towards the end of the season and make a splash, and then the other women were like, absolutely not. So
I mean, with Monica, it's kind of a
you don't
know what really to believe. I mean, that was. I don't know. I mean, I think it is really hard to truly imagine them bringing Monica back, even though I think we all wanted it. They really don't like her. They really don't. So like, we've always had like Ronnie, my co-host, and I have had like a really like nice relationship with Heather Gay. She's done stuff. We have like the Crappies, which is like our award show. Yeah. She submitted videos for it when we did a show in Salt Lake City. She came to it and brought Meredith Marks, which was really great. But in our last Crappies Awards, we nominated Monica for Best Newbie. She was like nominated for Best Villain and Best Newbie or something. And Heather was pissed at us and basically unfollowed us because she was like, how could you give this woman a platform like that?
Wow.
And to us, I'm like, it's not that deep. It's not a real award show. It's not the Oscars, okay? But it just sort of says how much. They hate her. Yeah. They hate her to that level, and she's like, no, it's bad. So, I mean, I still like Heather Gay. Like, even though she unfollowed me, like, I will welcome her back when it starts. Listen, you know, like, I'm now in my own Real Housewives arc.
Yes.
And I'm like excited for the reunion, but like she was not happy about that.
You need to head to the beauty lab and like squash.
That's what I have to do. I want to squash it.
Has there ever been other housewives that have like got a little heated with y'all? Because you guys have a lot of fun on your podcast, and it's fun to listen to, but I'm sure not every housewife has a sense of humor.
Yeah, I think the ones that don't have a sense of humor generally just don't listen to us. They don't even bother. Like, you know, one time, like, Randy Redmond got, like, annoyed because we were very much, like, Team Leanne on, like, you know, like, for a while. And so she was like, I get it. But most of, like, the housewives that have reached out to us, they're like we love what you do. Like in terms of, I think it's like it's funny. They get it. I think the ones that I think that were assholes just steer clear. Like they just don't even want to engage with us. But I'm always surprised at the sheer number of people who are just like Like, oh yeah, you guys are funny. Like, I'm like, well, we say such mean things about you, and they're like, yeah, no, whatever. And like, I was just on Melissa Gorga's podcast, and I was having some apprehension about that. I was like, oh, like we can be really mean to Melissa, especially Ronnie. And I was like, is she gonna be like, is this gonna be weird? And I was like, you know what? The people on her own show, the people in her own family are so much meaner and say so much worse things than anything that Ronnie and I could say that it's really not an
That's
issue.
so true. Yeah.
You know? Like, these people are so mean to each other that, like, why should we as podcasters, if people just watch the show and just have, like, opinions?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just patted my microphone for no good reason. But why would any of them, like, anything we say, if it ever touch the stuff that they say, let alone also the comments on, like, YouTube or something like that? That gets really vicious.
Yeah.
You know.
Stay out of the comment section, 100%.
Stay in the comment section.
Wait, okay, because like you said, like there has been some fun shows so far, but it seems like it's gonna be a very packed fall. Which Bravo show are you most excited to come back, and what's your hope for it?
Well, Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
You know, if I didn't know that Miami hadn't been filming, I would say Miami. I don't know what the hell's going on there.
What's happening with that?
I don't know, but it's like, hello, Alexia's divorcing from Todd. We need to get those
I
cameras
know.
rolling.
I
We
think
need
they're
to see
figuring
Alexia.
out casting, because I think it sounds like they're adding new girls, but
like
it's
the most
such a
perfect cast.
packed cast that if they're adding new girls, to me, this is just my own speculation, there's no way someone is not getting the chop. If you were to predict who is getting, like, who do you think? Because I think everyone should stay.
I think Gertie might get a chop.
After last season?
I know everyone loved, like, Gertie's great. We
Yeah.
all love Gertie. But, you know, and last season was such an inspiration, et cetera. But I think, though, that, like, you know, yeah, I don't know, but she brings a lot of drama. Like, sometimes she'll just be sort of in the background, and then all of a sudden she just, like, activates up. Maybe Marisol, she's not even a cast member.
Yeah.
Maybe they have to keep Lisa. But
Yeah, they should keep Lisa, right?
I don't know. I don't know why do we have to add anyone new to it. I mean,
Yeah,
I guess you
that's
could
the
say
thing.
you could get rid of Julia, but I think she's like a good like counterbalance. You know, like you have very flashy people, and you have this one woman who's always playing with goats and stuff.
Playing with goats,
Right?
mixing jam.
I just like always, and also just for all the women in like head to toe like Fendi and Valentino going, stepping in goat shit, and the
Yeah.
smells that must be permeating from there, because I've been to like a goat farm once, it smells like shit.
Yeah.
And like that's just what's happening.
So maybe
there.
not chop Julia, just chop the goat farm scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I need the reactions to it.
No,
Oh,
we need,
yeah,
we
I
need
need
you
the
like
reactions.
it. You like
That's
it.
what they have to keep it for that.
No,
Right?
'cause
I'm
season-
just not visiting.
Season 1 of Miami, Leah Black took them all to an organic farm, and they were eating this, and there was like bugs in the food, and they were disgusted. And Leah was just sitting there laughing. She's like, you know,
loved
she's
it.
like, oh, they're just eating bugs. These women never seen dirt before, and it was great. I would love Leah Black back on a Real Housewives.
Oh.
Leah Black was excellent.
I think she would like that too.
I mean, like, she would honestly be really good on Beverly Hills. I think Beverly Hills needs a little bit of an agitator. I think that sometimes they play a little too safe. You don't think Leah Black on Beverly Hills?
No, I like that. I'm trying
I'm
to think
into
of like
that.
another. I'm trying to think of like any person in LA that could like, or Beverly Hills that could like fire it up. I'm not. Yeah.
Because Beverly Hills is sort of, I don't know, like, again, they have drama and they have these big moments that like take over the internet. And yet when you think of the Beverly Hills cast, it always sort of seems a little like one note.
Yeah.
Or not one note, sort of like safe. It's a safe show.
Well, it's a drama. They dance around their actual drama. I think
what it
it's
is.
like, you don't support me. In what?
In what way?
Yes.
And then they're like, I'll do better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always like you have to like read between the lines on that show, and like I feel like Leah would just go and be like, I don't care about like she would she would just go in and just like be like, well, why are you like that? Why are you with a woman? Kyle, are you a lesbian or not? And she'd be like, Leah, I can't believe you said that.
Do you hope we learn more about the situation with Morgan on the next season, or do you think Kyle obviously like doesn't really want to address it? She hasn't really talked about it in depth. Do you think she should leave it alone, or do you want to?
I don't inherently care about the Morgan situation, but what I do care about is Kyle Richards, who spends years talking about being open and honest and runs people like Denise Richards off the show for not being open and honest. And Denise Richards is an especially salient point because she would she was run off the show amidst like lesbian rumors. And then when now Kyle is in the hot seat, she goes, I just want my privacy. And I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like that you are going to like wave the banner of everyone needs to be open and honest. And then when it comes to Kyle, she keeps it under wraps the entire season and acts like elusive about it. I just don't think that's like a fair standard, and I just would like to see her grilled on that a little bit, and I'd be very happy with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never thought about it that way, but that
Yeah.
you just made a
Listen,
point.
Kyle is, I've gone up and down with Kyle.
Yeah.
I used to love Kyle. And then I felt like Kyle was just representing a version of Kyle, and she was never really saying what she wanted to say. And then it seemed like this past season, Kyle was like, you know what? I'm over it. This is just who I am. I don't want to drink. I don't want to party. I don't want to be with Mauricio. I just want to go off to like a river somewhere and row a boat. And now I like girls. I was like, good for you, Kyle. But then she sort of went right back into the stirring the pot, but then not being honest about what's going on in her life. And it just drove me nuts.
I know. She would really benefit from doing what Noella did, that OC episode where she just sat by a lake and screamed for an hour.
Oh, that was so good. Noella, totally underrated.
I fucking loved her.
I agree with that. I think that's a hot take, but yes, I agree.
The funniest lines ever is, I Googled LGBT gifts on Amazon. And I was like, because I know she did.
Which is thoughtful and considerate.
It is incredibly. But yeah, I think that I want season 1 Kyle back.
Oh.
The season 1 Kyle who would get she would fly off the handle, because that was the real Kyle. That was the real Kyle, and I loved that.
Oh my god. Okay, well I hope she's listening to this.
She probably is, and she's probably like, they're so mean to me. Like,
Or no, she's like, what's a Honda? Yeah.
like Lisa Hochstein
Oh,
That was
she knows what a
fucking
Honda is now.
driving her maid's Honda.
That was really like,
She's like, they say I don't know. They say I can't be humble, so here I am in a Honda. Hope you're happy. It's
and everyone's
okay.
like, that's what I love, because it was such an over-the-top thing, and then it falling so flat, too.
yeah.
It was
like-
such a beautiful mix.
Well, the thing was the fact that she was like, look, it was supposed to be, hey, I can show people that I can be humble and I can drive a Honda. But she's like, yeah, I took my maid's Honda. Look at this disgusting piece of shit that I'm driving. A poor piece of person-mobile. And it's like, oh.
It's like, it's the most cringy, uncomfortable thing I've ever witnessed, Lisa.
I know.
Which is impressive, too.
And she picked up Larsa, and Larsa wrote in it too, which
Oh
is
my
so
God.
crazy.
Which is actually worth it. Just to
Yeah.
see Larsa have to be like, oh my God, I'm like in a Honda like. What is this?
Oh man, I do love your Lisa and Larsa
I know.
impressions. Those are good.
You know, we have a fun time doing Miami. There are a lot of fun voices on that show.
Is there a impression you've never been able to do?
Candy Burris.
Oh, and she has such a specific, distinctive voice.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
it's
it's like
tough.
her voice starts off, it's like really low like this sometimes. Then she's like up here. And I used to always my joke when I tried to do her voice was that she modulates so much like that I don't know how to do her voice. But I'd do like this. But at a certain point, the joke is over, and I felt like, it's time to move on from the Candy joke. But her voice was famously, it just goes in so many directions all at once.
Well, she's a vocalist.
Yeah.
So
And
she's-
I know
There you go.
she's performing in LA next Sunday, so I'm sure.
Is she?
Yes!
I never got to see A Mother's Love, and I
oh, that's
I would have
She
liked to
sent
have
me a
seen
Mother's
that.
Love on DVD,
Really?
and I went to her wedding.
You went to Candy Burris's
Yeah,
wedding?
it's Candy Burris's wedding. Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, how did that happen?
I was working for a different outlet at the time, and I had the exclusive, and it was a while. I was seated right next to Monica.
Wow.
It was insane, yeah.
Monica the singer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Imagine Monica Garcia.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I went to Leanne Lockin's wedding, so that
Oh,
just shows,
that's-
that
that's
shows the
amazing.
difference in the sort of
No,
Okay.
no, that's also iconic with the no food, right?
with the no food, and I can confirm.
Yeah.
There was one charcuterie. There were 2 trays of charcuterie meats, and then there was a wall of sprinkles cupcakes.
Okay.
But
Oh,
that
that
was
shows
it.
the sign of the times.
Charcuterie and sprinkles, though. No.
They were
Good
both
mix.
delicious, but the charcuterie was gone right away. It was
Still
actually a really
delicious.
fun wedding. It was
Yeah.
really, really fun. But yeah, I was starving during that wedding. But yeah, but that's so cool. I love Candy Burris. Candy, I'm sad that she's gone, but I think it's probably the right thing.
Totally.
Oh,
Time to
especially
move on.
now.
I'm sure
Yes,
she also
now
thinks
that
it's
Phaedra's
the right
back. I
thing.
think she's very excited
Yes.
to be back now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Phaedra would have come back if
Yes.
Candy were still there,
Yeah.
but they were like, we gotta. Now that Kenya's gone too, they're like, let's pull in Phaedra.
Drew's just singing. She's like, where's my mark?
I don't know. Drew Sidora is of that special class of housewives. It's like Drew Sidora, Gina Kirschenheiter, whatever her last. I still don't know how to say Gina's last
I think
name.
it's Kirschenheiter.
Kirschenheiter. Where I'm like, wow, they brought you back.
I'm
for you.
See, I like the way Bryn's winks to the camera work for me. I'm also a big Gina and Drew fan. I don't know. I like them.
Drew
I like a
singing
down to earth girl, you know.
to
Singing
Ralph,
to Ralph.
that was one of the moments where I'm like, oh, this girl's heart is on sleeve. It's like she shows everything.
Yeah.
It's like Jen Pedantrian where I'm like, I can't even ask a question to you because you just revealed everything.
Well, I mean, the thing with Drew Sidora that is amusing is that she's so blatantly a grifter, right? Like drop it with Drew. She's like, in 10 days you can lose 50 pounds or something like that, and she had the fake photos up, and then she and Ralph were like, we're so happy. pay this money to be
Marlo's
part
like,
of
the
it.
website's not working.
I was like, this is like a blatant, this is blatant con artistry right here. And I was like, it's so funny. They're like small time crooks, it feels like. And they're like doing their like three ring circus there. So I kind of do like that. And she is blissfully unaware as well.
When she's like Lifetime or above. And when she asked Alexa to play the song, and it was like, what? Like
Or when she got outraged about like that preacher,
Oh.
Pastor Lowe or something like that, or Preacher Lowe or something like that. This random storyline about like, guys, I think that, was it like Shamari? No, it wasn't Shamari. It was it was it was what's her face? I'm blanking on her name. She was sort of like kind of having like the hots for Kenya.
Oh!
She was an Aquarius
Latoya?
like Kenya. Latoya, I think. Yes, I think it was Latoya.
And it was like, it turns out she was the girl that this preacher may have been hooking up with, which is like, that's a stretch, but God bless.
I just think Drew's really pretty too. Like she has like a Disney
pretty.
princess face to me.
She is really pretty.
Which is gonna
I'm
work
sure
on me.
she tells her agent that all the time. Like, so I give Disney Princess. Are there any, like, have they reached out? What's happening?
No, but
above.
there
Lifetime or
is.
above.
But have you considered The Pass by Todd Tucker?
I watched it in an
watched it too.
Airbnb
Really?
in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love a
Okay.
movie that's based off of the reaction it gets in Hollywood. It's like it named itself after like its review, but but you know what though, the thing is this, Gina, I feel like Gina seems like actually like I probably would be friends with her.
If you spent some time with her, you would love her. I know.
I
Have you spent some time with her?
I have clearly not. I
We
haven't.
have spent some time with you. We're Gina-nators. We do love our Gina.
Gina-nators.
Yeah.
I just, you know what, she's kind of, I feel like she's like an asshole on the show. I think she's low-key an asshole, and people have not fully clocked her for being an asshole.
That's very true. Yeah.
She, like, every season she turns on a friend. Every single season, whoever she was with, like, hanging out with a lot the season before, she's like, you know what, they're, like, not nice. They weren't supporting me doing this. And she's like, and then she does something really rude, and then she goes, oh, I just feel bad. And she's always just saying, I just feel bad. And I'm like, you know what? Be an asshole, just lean into it, but don't be an asshole. It's like, well, I feel bad about what it. It's like she was so mean to Jen at that coffee shop.
In the with the beret, like she like in full like post coming from Newsies, and she's like,
and
hey.
she didn't even eat her croissant.
That's the worst
That
part
was
of
all
the.
I would have loved if Jen was like, thank you.
And like, she wasn't mean in the campy way, because I like a Heather Dubrow dress down.
Oh, I love
Heather Dubrow, like, if there's anyone who can give a to be continued setup, it's Heather Dubrow with an issue.
I don't know you, and actually now I don't think I want to get to know you. I want to start using that.
Yeah. Or
wait.
like with the IMDb fight with Taylor, and we all know like.
Why do you say it like that? She's so. Oh my god.
She is. I mean, like Heather Dubrow. I have the second generation Heather Dubrow. I've come to like really love.
And even when she leaves the golf fight, when she's like, "It was so nice meeting your husband."
Or when she said, "Enjoy the dom," I was like,
Like,
it was so good. Like, I just got you $1,000 bottle of champagne, and this is how you treat me.
Yeah.
And it's nothing. It's nothing for me. And of course, like the monologue with Shannon Bedore, like, if you ever come for me or my family again, it will cost you a lot.
That is not a threat. It's a promise.
It is like.
And she was wearing, I remember, like a cheetah scarf in it.
Yes, she was.
So
I mean,
good.
she just can segue us into to be continued like no one else can. And I just think that like I never thought that I would really elevate Heather Dubrow into like my top tier, but she's kind of there now.
Okay.
Is she on like your Mount Rushmore?
She's approaching.
Will you leave us with your Mount Rushmore?
Countess Luann.
Love.
Countess Luann for sure. Mount Rushmore. I mean, Heather Dubrow is like, she's getting up there, but Shannon Bedore.
Oh.
Shannon Bedore is on my Mount Rushmore. You know, there's part of me that wants.
There's a theme.
There's a theme.
Oh yeah. Oh, there is.
I'm like, who else has?
They fought the
been-
law and the law won. Go on.
You know, it's hard. Like, it takes a lot to get onto my Mount Rushmore. Like, there's some definitely contenders. Maybe you guys can help me. Like, I think Karen Huger is probably on there.
Continues with the theme.
Yep. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Well,
wait, who's next?
Unfortunately,
Hi, Jen Shaw, round it out.
I mean, Meredith Marks is heading there, but like,
we love
Yes,
Meredith.
I do.
but we need like there's, and I mean, we need like she doesn't have. I wonder if she needs more years under her belt.
I
feel-
always love a Kenya for my Mount Rushmore.
Kenya, yeah, but I feel like the last few years she fell
been
off
clock-
Mount
yeah,
Rush.
she fell-
She
yeah,
fell off,
yeah, she's having a tough
unfortunately.
time, yeah.
there's, one thing that I struggle with is Ramona Singer. The Ramona Singer of it all, she really doesn't deserve to be on anyone's mountain. But there's part of me that feels like she's such an iconic, like, chaotic housewife.
Her and Vicky are like hand in hand with that.
Vicky, I think they're on their own separate mountain.
They're
A mountain of, like, they have a special spot, but they're not
with the
like,
pus coming out of the belly.
Yeah, they're like they're just like in they're like in some sad mountain.
Yeah.
Sad but like iconic mountain. What's a sad but iconic mountain? Is it like K2 as like this awful mountain, like this awful big mountain that doesn't get the credit as Mount Everest?
I don't really know much about mountains, but
I don't know. Like I don't. And then okay, so someone else, someone from Beverly Hills, I feel like Shirley is on. I don't want, there was a time when I'd say Lisa Vanderpump. I don't know if Lisa Vanderpump's on it. Sutton, probably.
Ooh.
Sutton, but she's relatively new too.
yeah.
But hey, you know what?
She's a fresh face.
She's a fresh face, but if anyone will grill anybody, it's her.
Yeah, honestly, I would just put like old school RHONJ as my entire Mount Rushmore if I really could. I'm not gonna lie.
That's perfect.
That would probably be it.
It's perfection.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, you are perfection as well.
Thank you so much. It's so great to finally meet you both
I
in person.
know!
And it's so cool to
So
be here in this
overdue.
lovely set.
Oh my God. Whenever you come back to New York.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to come
And the
back.
two of you have to come too, running back.
Yes,
Oh yeah,
please.
Ronnie's in LA right now, but like, we're hoping to be back here soon for another live show. And so when you come back, you'll have a 2-for-1 special. And he will have a very different Mount Rushmore, I'll tell you that much.
I can't
very
wait.
different
Also,
one.
yeah. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Oh, Margaret
I'm scared for
Josephs might be on my Mount Rushmore.
Oh!
Yeah.
And she solidified that. Yeah.
Yeah, she's probably on there.
Love Marge.
Yeah, I love her
Yeah.
too.